welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Gem and it is time to unbox the August Upcrate. I've received this box and it's got a little sticker on the front of it, and it's kind of narked me from the get-go. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. On this sticker here it says share your Upcrate unboxing on Instagram to win art supplies worth €100. This is an absolute no-no for me. I am always very respectful of other people's delivery times, and I don't like to show the contents of the box too early on in case it spoils the surprise for someone else. That's part of the fun of having a mystery box, and you will notice that in my thumbnails for the videos when I do these unboxings, it's always just a picture of the box, and I do it deliberately so that no one sees something by accident. This will actively make me unfollow Upcrate on Instagram just in case I see the contents of the box before I actually do my unboxing video. I would love to know whether that's just me that feels that way, but I just feel it's kind of rude to splatter the contents of the box all over social media when you first get it, knowing that there's people maybe in further flung areas of the world that are yet to get their boxes. But anyway, you can let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm always quite interested to hear. So this is a monthly art subscription box from Germany. I do believe that the box is a year old now, so we've come a long way, and I'm really keen to see what is inside. This month the Upcrate battle will have its own separate video. We alternate with the scroller box, so the battle will be a separate video in a week or so. Okay, so as per usual, we have our envelope of bump, which we will look at later. Ooh, now this is interesting. And we've got some supplies here, and this looks interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, the first thing I've come across is Snazaroo mini face paints. And there's a set of 3 paints here, so there's like a kind of grey blue colour, white, that might even be silver actually. There's a blue colour and there's a little sponge and a brush as well. The brush is considerably suspect. It's not in great condition, and it's obviously not a very high quality brush, but I am really curious as to why we have this in an art subscription box. I used to do face painting at local fairs and things many years ago, so that's kind of tickled me a little bit. We've also got, we've also got some really nice 100% cotton paper here, and it's hot pressed, so I'm assuming that this is watercolour paper, and it's designed for Upcrate, which is lovely. Ideal for watercolour, gouache, ink, acrylic and colour pencil. Oh, colour pencil. And there seems to be quite a lot of sheets on this, and it's quite thick. It feels nice. It's got that lovely spring to it. 300 GSM, so that's standard for high quality watercolour paper, which I'm really excited about. And true to form, hot pressed paper is smooth, and it does feel lovely and smooth. Also in our box here, I'll just move this out of the way now, we have our featured artist, which is the co-captain in the Upcrate, and they have drawn a berry, and it's Max Schersen. And this is lovely, and this looks like it's been done in pencil, so yay, I like the pencil. So there's a little bit on the back about the artist, and it's sort of in an interview format. There's questions here with answers, so that's always something that's really nice to read. And here is the advert for the supply that comes in the box, and it is Derwent Light Fast pencils, and these pencils are amazing. They are super expensive, and they're kind of like the cream of the crop. These are more expensive than Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, so they're pretty pricey. I have had some of these before, so I'm crossing my fingers that we're getting colours that I haven't already got. That would be really nice. So there's a little colour chart here, and the light fastness rating in these pencils is supposed to be absolutely immense. So if you're looking to do archival artwork, these are, you know, this is as good as it's going to get for you. So I'm really excited now to see the pencils. I just love it when I get pencils. I actually had a sneaking suspicion it might have been markers this month, because we've not had markers for a while now. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, look at this. So we've got a Corez number 2 pencil, so that's equivalent to an HB, and this looks like a pretty standard pencil. It feels quite sturdy. It's got an eraser on the end, and it's got a nice pointy point on it too, which I always appreciate. When it comes to getting pencils in subscription boxes, I would rather they were sharpened properly or not sharpened at all. None of this half-assed job, so I'm quite pleased about that. We have got a twin hole sharpener here, and it's got a little casing on it. And this is an M&R sharpener. I have one of these. I have the brass bullet M&R sharpener. These are excellent sharpeners. They're really, really good quality, and I'm really pleased that I've got one that's got a case on it, because the brass bullet sharpener is just a sharpener on its own, and you have to sharpen, you know, into a bin or whatever. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Oh, this is exciting. This is about as excited as I'm going to get. We've got a selection of pencils here, and there are 6 altogether in some really nice colours by the looks of things. And we've also got a Lyra Splendor blender. Again, these are blending pencils to help smooth out your pencil work. And the Lyra has a reputation for being one that sort of behaves quite well with a lot of brands of pencils. I'm personally not a fan of it. I prefer the Derwent blenders, and I find it odd that we've not been given a Derwent blender with Derwent pencils. But these are pretty good, and they're quite popular as well, and a lot of you will get on okay with this. So we've got these colours here. Let's take a wee look and see what we've got. We have a violet, yellow ochre, magenta, mallard green, foliage. I think that's going to be my favourite one. And also mid ultramarine. So we'll swatch these out in just a little minute. I am going to go and grab my other light fast pencils to see if I've got an overlap in any of the colours. I don't think I do, which is really exciting for me. Okay, so I have a little bit of an overlap. These are the pencils I had before, and I got these in a scroller box ages and ages ago. And weirdly, the artwork that I did for the scroller challenge with these pencils, it's still one of my favourite challenge artworks that I've done ever, you know, since I started drawing. So the 2 colours that I already own are mid ultramarine and also the yellow ochre. But other than that, these pencils are new to me, so that's just going to bump up my collection a little bit. I haven't really decided to start collecting these as pencils because they are uber expensive, and I do have the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, so for me this isn't something that I would necessarily want to invest in, but they are really, really nice pencils, which I will demonstrate to you just shortly. Righty-ho, so we'll have a wee dig about in our envelope now. We usually get stickers and things in here as well, so we'll take this out and then we'll have a look at the list of the supplies as well. Forget realism. So this is our postcard that goes with our featured artwork, and I don't know whether this is supposed to be a grape and it's going into a raisin. That kind of might be the feel of this. And we've also got our little sticker, and this is always the logo, the Upcrate logo, and it's been done by the featured artist in their style, and I love seeing these. People are so creative with them and I really like them. So we've also got another sticker, Art is Freedom. And we have our Upcrate Battle, which is our art prompt, which we'll look at right at the end and see what we've got to deal with. I am excited about this box because I love anything that's got coloured pencil in it, so this has made me really happy this month. Okay, so let's have a wee read about the art supplies and see if we can learn anything else. So we've got the light fast pencils. They've been formulated to be 100% light fast. As I say, this is like the best you can get kind of thing. The revolutionary oil-based core is resistant to prolonged colour change, ensuring artwork will not fade for up to 100 years under museum conditions. That's pretty specific, so you can put your faith in that. It creates rich, vibrant colours that can be mixed on the page to create a paint-like effect. All colours are of professional quality to comply with the various scales and requirements, that kind of thing. Use these pencils for detailed drawing and layering techniques. These pencils are great for layering. The Rembrandt Splendor pencil adds luminosity to your work. It kind of lightens it up a little bit, bringing out colours to achieve the highest possible level of realism. With this pencil, you can make even the smallest elements stand out in your work. The Rembrandt Splendor seals the surface of the paper and sets the decisive accents for deceptively real works of art. The Corres pencil, and it's a number 2 HB, extremely high graphite content and shines noble black design. The shaft's made of basswood with a glued breakproof lead, so that helps with sharpening. The paper, Portofino, 10 sheets of A5 paper. It's made on a cylinder mould machine, 100% cotton. That's the best kind of paper you can have for watercolour. You always want cotton paper for watercolour if you can afford it. It's acid free, which is great as well. When papers are acid free, that means that they won't be prone to yellowing. And it's something I talk about quite a lot with colouring books, because most of the paper used, even in the premium adult colouring books, unfortunately is not acid free. And I have lots of my cherished older books that are maybe 4 or 5 years old now, and they are starting to yellow, which is a shame. It actually talks about this here. The absence of acids and chlorine derivates endow this paper with resistance against yellowing from UV rays, guaranteeing durability over the years and maximum yield for the colours applied. So this paper really goes hand in hand with this idea of like having really, really good light fastness and your artwork standing the test of time. The M&R Sharpener, Little Quattro Swing Special Sharpener. The double hole metal sharpener with a lockable box is suitable for pencils and coloured pencils with a normal diameter. This combination ensures fine compact tips, especially for coloured pencils because we do like a pointy point, and artist pencils with delicate leads. The special sharpener offers 2 different cones for standard size pencil, a standard cone primary for lead pencil and a compact cone for premium quality coloured pencils. Turn the lid around 180, which helps to prevent splitters falling out of the container. I think that's meant to be splinters. So let's just have a wee look there. So yeah, the holes are open there. And if I lift this lid and turn it round, then that would block off anything coming out, you know, this way. We'll maybe do a shake test with that. Okay, the gimmick is the mini face paint kit. It's fun time. Enjoy this with your kids or anyone else. This small pack size is ideal for everyday play and can be taken anywhere, and it is so easy to use too. Okay, so that's just the little extra. That's really, really cute. Alright, I am super excited about this. I am just going to grab a little bit of this paper. We will test these out on the paper that's been given to us. I mean, we have 10 sheets, which is really generous. So we'll zoom in a little bit so that you can see what's going on. And we'll start, as always, with our Common or Garden HB pencil. This paper is really smooth. I don't know if this is the type of paper I would use for coloured pencil. I tend to like a little bit of texture from a coloured pencil. But I think for doing some more sort of illustrative watercolour, you know, maybe inking something out, you know, inking an outline and then using watercolour to bring life to it, I think this is the kind of paper I would use. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Arche hot press paper. That might be an interesting comparison to do side by side in another video. But yeah, our HB pencil here, it's quite dark for an HB. I think it might even be leaning towards more of a B pencil. If you're not sure about pencil grades and how they work, I did do a video recently on all the different graphite grades, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it in the end card at the end of the video, but I'll also put the link to it down in the description if you want to check that out. So yeah, I think we've got quite a lot of diversity with this as far as an HB pencil goes, because as I say, the darks are pretty dark. And if you use a really light hand and use the pencil on its side, you can get some really nice light delicate values as well. So this is pretty good. It's a good all-rounder pencil, and I really like the point on it as well, and it seems to be holding a point as well. We're not having any problems there, so that's great. Let's try the eraser while we're here. And that's taken away even the darkest part there, that kind of mashed into the paper. That is taking that off pretty well. So the eraser isn't a dud as well, which is nice. That's always a nice little touch. Okay, so let's have a go with our pencils. So we'll start with the yellow ochre. And these just go down beautifully. I like the Derwent pencils because they've got quite a thick diameter barrel and it makes them feel really, really substantial. And you know, you feel like you've got an expensive pencil in your hands, even if it's not the light fast pencils, but it's just so smooth, it's so lovely. And there you go, you can see the layers building up and you can see how rich that ochre colour is becoming. And because we're working on hot press paper, we can get quite a smooth finish with it, which is just absolutely delightful. Okay, so that's the ochre. Let's try the foliage. I'm quite excited about this one. Oh yeah, that's a nice colour. This kind of reminds me of the Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour paint, the sap green colour. It's very, very similar to that. But that's just absolutely lovely. And they are quite soft. You know, you're not working with a really hard pencil here. So for those of you that are Prismacolor fans, you'll probably quite like these as well. You don't get much softer than a Prismacolor pencil, but these feel really good to use. Okay, mallard green. So this is going to be more of like a viridian. Oh no, we're into teal, okay. Oh, that's nice as well. I like this colour. This is rather nice. So we've got some really vibrant colours here. So mid-ultramarine. Quite a delicate ultramarine colour that. I quite like that. And a violet. Just move this over. This is pretty flat on the top, so I'm going to take this opportunity for this particular pencil to try the pencil sharpener. So I'm going to use it in the small hole. Oh yeah, and as you can see, all my sharpenings are safe in there. So let's try the idea of shutting off the holes to hold all our shavings. And the lid comes off really easily as well. Okay, so we're sealed up. Are you ready? And nothing. Excellent. So that sharpener's definitely getting a thumbs up from me. And that is a really pointy point. Look how delicate that is. I just love it when I get pencils in a subscription box. This is amazing. Ooh. Right, let's see if we can get some really nice rich colour here. Yes, this is what I am talking about. And we have this lovely pink colour as well. We've got a magenta. Oh, look at that. Bam. Alright, so we've got quite a nice set of colours there, and I like it that it's cheery colours this time as well. I want to show you what they're like for blending and layering as well, so I'm just going to start with a wee bit of blending. So I've taken this violet colour again, and I'm going to use the magenta. And you can just see what these look like. Now I'm going to do this twice because I'm going to use the Splendor blender, but I just want to show you with the bare pencils to start with to see what you can achieve without the need for a blender pencil. I generally don't use blender pencils an awful lot. They're not really my thing. I just tend to blend with the coloured pencils themselves. It's nice to know that you've got that option there should you want to do that. I find it quite hard on my hand as well because you do have to press quite hard with the blender pencils, and my poor injured hand doesn't really enjoy that very much. But there you go, so you can get a nice transition from one into the other without any sort of hassle there, and you can see the colours smooshing together in the middle pretty well. So that's just absolutely delightful. That's what we want. So with your blender pencil, you want to have a couple of layers of pencil down on your paper, and if you keep a light hand it's actually easier. But basically it just moves the pigment about, so if you don't have enough down on the paper, it's going to look pretty patchy, and it leaves kind of like a sheen on your pencil as well. And you would do, when you're using a blender pencil, you would use it last, so you would put all your colour down first, because once you've used your blender it smooshes down the tooth of the paper, and what that means is you can't lay down any more coloured pencil on top of it. So let's just take this blender pencil now, and you'd start with your lightest colour, and you press quite hard and work in circular motions. So you can see there how that's smoothing out, and it's much more obvious at the edge. And you can see that it's lightening that up as well, and that's what I was talking about earlier. You're always going to be a wee bit lighter if you use your blender pencil than you would be if you're just using your coloured pencils. And if you see it next to this one, you can see the difference in them. And that's pretty obvious. But all it does is it takes away that texture of the paper underneath, so you can get some really nice smooth finishes with it. And when you're finished with your blender pencil, just make sure that your tip's clean, and if it's still got some pigment on it, you can just sort of scribble it off on a scrap piece of paper. So there you go. If I zoom in a little bit there, you can see the difference between the two textures. So if you like really smooth colouring, then these are absolutely great. Again, I actually quite like the texture of the paper and also the texture of the pencil. It's one of the reasons I like using pencils. So I tend not to use them, but they do come in really, really handy. So if we talk about layering now, let's just see how we get on. I've got the yellow ochre here, so I'm going to pop down a little bit of that, and I'm going to take this magenta colour and just pop that over the top. And you can see how well that's blending together, and we're going to start to get a slightly orangey hue here. And again, I'm not pressing hard here when I'm doing this. And the more layers you put down, the smoother that colour is going to become. And as long as you don't press hard, you can build up quite a lot there. And then when you're happy with the colour that you've got, then you can use your lighter colour. And this is what I was saying about blending with the coloured pencils themselves. And you're doing it exactly the same as you would do with your colourless blender. And you can really press down and go over that. And you can see that's given me a shade of orange as opposed to what's going on up here. So these layer and blend really well together. They are absolutely lovely pencils. I say I'm quite a fan of them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Upcrate battle is all about. So here we go. Deep breath. Drawing vegetables. Okay. Okay, well, to be fair, we've got a lot of scope for what we want to draw. I wonder if fruits are included that as well, or it's just vegetables. So we're going to draw something veggie with our light fast pencils. I am super, super pleased with this box. I really, really am. It's lovely to see really high quality items and supplies in general in these boxes, and I would rather have personally a small selection of high quality items like this, and you don't get much better quality than Derwent Light Fast pencils than having a box full of lots of cheap stuff, half of which you might not use. Obviously is very specific to me because I am a pencil nut, and naturally I'm going to be pleased with this box anyway. I hope you guys enjoy your box too. I would love to know your thoughts on the box. Leave them down in the comments section below. If you've got this far in the video, you've obviously enjoyed yourself, so could you take 2 little seconds just to click the thumbs up button? It's the internet equivalent of giving me a cuddle, and I really like cuddles, so that would be absolutely amazing. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for the support, and we'll see you back in the cave really soon for another video, and all shall be well once again. Have a good day everyone, and bye for now.